This is the Unseen New Viking Fan. This video is my final response to the jealous Packer fans that I have been in dialogue with in the past couple of days. This is my final response of the week. Oh, you can trust you'll get a video after the game as well. First of all, excuses, excuses, excuses. That's what I'm saying to JLB Sports, the ground guy, something ground '08, whatever the hell his name is. It's funny, when Aaron Rodgers gets sacked, gets put on his ass by Jared Allen, y'all say, well, the offensive line didn't block for him. The offensive line didn't block for him. But when Brett Favre gets stripped and the Pittsburgh defender picks it up and runs the length of the field, you say, well, it's Brett Favre's fault. He got stripped. When Brett Favre throws a pass and it hits the professional running back, professional NFL player, a veteran, not a rookie, hits him in both hands, a screen pass, hits him in both hands, not one hand, both hands. And he drops it and tips it to a Pittsburgh defender. You're going to say, oh, it's Favre's fault, Brett Favre's fault. He threw the ball too high. You'll find fault in whatever you can about Brett Favre. Anything that you can find fault in about Brett Favre, you're going to find because you're jealous. And your jealousy is controlling your logic and controlling your emotions. You can pull statistics up, who lost this game, who won this game. The only statistic that matters in football, this is how I know you guys never played football before. You just sit back and watch Madden and play Madden and watch Fox on ESPN and pull statistics at your ass and don't even know and find a way to interpret these statistics to back up your argument that Brett Favre should have stayed retired and never played football again. Like, who the hell are you for you to decide that for that man? The fact that the man wanted to play for the Green Bay Packers, completely, you ignore completely. He wanted to come back to his team. They didn't want him. They moved on. He got the raw end of the deal. They got the better end of the deal because even though they didn't want him to play for them, they dealt him. They didn't release him. They traded him. They got some draft picks out of the situation. And they sent him to a team that he really didn't want to play for. So then we know what he did last year. He made the Jets a better team. Say what you want to say. Oh, their offensive line. You're going to find all kind of excuses. And right now, the Jets are sitting at 4-3, which is respectable. But if you look at them last year under Brett Favre, at this point in the season, they had a better record. But there's so many dynamics to that. They got a new coach now. It's a whole. The bottom line is when Brett Favre came to play for the Jets, they were 4-10. When he left, they were 9-7. When Aaron Rodgers took over the 13-3 team that Brett Favre left them with, they went from 13-3 to 6-10. Oh, it's because of injuries. It's because of this. You see, that's what you don't understand. When Brett Favre did not play for Green Bay anymore, the whole complexity of the team changed. The 1,000-yard running back, no longer. The defense that was so dominant the year before, and those cornerbacks and pass coverage were so, Woodson and Harris were so dominant. The defensive end, can't think of Campman. Yeah, Campman was so dominant because the complexity of the game changed. See, what you have to understand is when you stop running the football and become a passing team, since you're trying so hard to make Aaron Rodgers look good, and you become this short passing team, and you pass, and you're calling plays for Aaron Rodgers, and you forget about the run, what happens is it puts pressure on your defense because it gets them back on the field a lot quicker. Less time runs off the clock. When you ball control and you hold the football and you run the ball and you keep the defense guessing, that takes off the pressure of your defense. Now, you may not understand this, but let me give you an example. Look at the Baltimore Ravens. The dominant defense of the Baltimore Ravens. Their identity has changed since they got Joe Flacco. They were a run-first team. Run first, stop the run. Run first, control the clock, play defense. They're 3-3 now. The complexity, the identity of their team has changed. Now they got Flacco and they want to air the ball out, and they don't have the weapons to do that. So they're not the same team. This is what happened to Green Bay. This is why you don't see Ryan Grant being a factor anymore. Instead, McCarthy, they've changed the defense. See, these are coach. This is what I said in the first video. You didn't listen. These are coach decisions. These are personnel decisions. This is why Green Bay is lost twice the amount of game, over 3 times the amount of games that they did before Brett Favre left last year. This is why they went 6-10 from 13-3. They changed the identity of their team. Brett Favre going to the Packers fits directly in with what they're trying to do. Although he had to pass 50 times last week on the road against Pittsburgh, and that's because they were behind, and Pittsburgh was stopping the running game, so they had to pass. See, that's what happened to you guys. You didn't think Favre could beat you, so you made it a point to stop AP, Adrian Peterson, and you did. Held him to under 3 yards a carry. On one play, stripped the ball right out of his hands and ran it back for a touchdown. Nobody says that was luck. That was a play that professional players made on the football field. Now, that tip pass that put Denver over Cincinnati in the first week of the game, first week of the season, and they won on that last play. I forgot the guy who caught it, who was just in the right place at the right time. That's luck. That never happens twice in a row. Same thing with the Pittsburgh game with Brett Favre. But you want to say, oh, Brett Favre lost the game for him. Brett Favre lost the game for him. Brett Favre. Okay. Well, you know what? If he lost the game for them, he sure won the game against you Packers. Brett Favre won that game on offense, and Jared Allen, as you see the picture there, thank goodness for Aaron Rodgers holding on to the ball forever. That's another thing you don't understand. There's a clock in your head as a quarterback. You drop back 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, get rid of the ball. Aaron Rodgers wants to hold on to the ball because he's scared to let it go, because he's scared to throw an interception, so he gets his ass sacked. Now this Sunday, I predict they're going to give the ball to Aaron Peterson probably about 25 to 30 times a game. Brett Favre don't have to beat y'all. He's beat y'all already. All he has to do is show up and win the division. You guys can't get past the Vikings, his team, to get into the playoffs. It's not going to happen. Dallas is coming on. New York, Philly, that's 3 teams right there. Atlanta's looking good. New Orleans will win the division. So that would leave Atlanta as a wild card. And whether it's New York, Dallas, or Philadelphia, that's 3 teams in the same division. 2 of them are going to be fighting for the wild card. What do you think the Packers are going to be? Okay? This is my last video. Pull stats out of your ass. He did this. Let's talk about wins and losses. Oh, it's a team. You know what? That's why you have the MVP, because the MVP is the most valuable player. Brett's got a couple of them, by the way. And when you take that player off the team, the identity of the team changes. What would happen if you took Tom Brady off of the Patriots? What would happen if you took Peyton Manning off of the Patriots? Right now, what would happen if you took Drew Brees off of the Saints? The Patriots were a completely different team when Tom Brady got hurt last year. Cassell came in and played pretty damn well because they're well coached, and they made a run for it, but it wasn't the same. This is what you idiots don't understand about football. He put up better numbers than Brett. This ain't fucking fantasy football. This is the NFL. And Mike McCarthy, Ted Thompson, as long as you keep making coaching and personnel decisions like that, NFL means not for long. So by the end of the season, you're going to run out of excuses, you jealous Packer fans. After this Sunday, you're going to run out of excuses. All of y'all, be men. Respond to this after Sunday. Get on the video, tape, man up, and tell the truth. Brett Favre kicked our ass twice this year, and now we got no chance of winning our division. This is the new, unseen Minnesota Viking fan. My last response. We can go back and forth all day forever. At the end of the day, people's jobs in the NFL are won and lost by wins and losses. Period. Wins and losses. Find the moral victory in what you can, but it's all about wins and losses. Goodbye.